The following trailer has been approved for a young adult audience.
I take one last look in the mirror before heading down to breakfast. I look kinda cute in my new skirt and eyeshadow. Not much different than last year, but not all of us are trying to turn into someone else. Most of the time, anyway. I'm done with this whole cool thing. You can keep on shaving your head and giving assholes blowjobs and then basking in the glow of antibiotic glee you seem to be enjoying, but I have better places to be. Maybe if you come to D&D on Friday, we can convince you. It's not as dorky as it sounds, Jesse. Really, I think you'll like it.
I've heard of her. Isn't she the girl who tried to join the boys' gymnastic team because she refused to wear a leotard in public?
Yeah, that's her. Do you know she made up her own language?
Yeah, what's it called? Dorkies?
If this is what kissing a nerd is like, I don't know why I ever bothered to be cool.
Now that you've had a chance to watch the trailer I made, let's continue on to my recommendation. In short, I highly recommend Into the Wild Nerd Yonder for a number of reasons. First, the story covers timeless themes like growing apart from friends, betrayal, and looking past first impressions. As the story begins, Jessie starts to lose her best friends when they embrace a shallow, look-alike punk lifestyle. Still, she manages to hold together her relationship with them until Bizza performs oral sex on a boy while knowing that Jessie has a crush on him. With nothing left to keep her friendship intact, Jessie finds to find a new group to hang around with, and ultimately ends up in the general orbit of some Dungeons & Dragons players. As a result, the only story elements that might, at some point, become dated are a very small number of pop cultural references, and possibly the idea that being a nerd is a bad thing. Second, Julie Halpern somehow managed to write the story in a way that kept it from being invalidated by modern technology. So many novels written 6 to 7 years ago, like Into the Wild Nerd Yonder, or even longer ago, involve plot points that would quickly become nonsensical if the characters owned smartphones. Dunaway and Fowler, for instance, noted that realistic contemporary settings are invoked with electronic elements, dilemmas, and plot complexities fueled by personal devices, new gaming series, and social media sites. While Into the Wild Nerd Yonder doesn't explicitly conform to that advice, Halpern avoids naming specific technology that could narrow down the story's time frame. Jessie's refusal to take Bizza's call, for instance, could easily allow readers to believe it referred to a FaceTime or Skype attempt because there's nothing to imply otherwise. Barrett's threat to contact the girls Vanis had sex with to inform them of his STD would be even more effective in an era of widespread social media use. Third, Into the Wild Nerd Yonder has generally well-rounded characters and a likable protagonist. Jessie has hopes, fears, dreams, and hobbies. When one element of her life isn't going well, she's able to focus her efforts on other things rather than merely moping around the house. Her sewing of so many different skirts forms an interesting backdrop for the story and provides a good reason for another character to reach out to her later on. As well as Jessie is written, her brother is nearly her equal. Beard is a legitimate member of the punk scene and is absolutely disgusted by posers like Brizza and Shar. But at the same time, he gets along well with Jessie and his parents, starts dating a former prom princess whose opinions make it clear she's a feminist, and is busy planning for attending college the following year. In fact, the only conventional aspect of Barrett's character is that he fills the protective older brother niche that seems to be a requirement for a story where a teen girl is betrayed by someone. Many of the lesser characters are also presented as more than one-dimensional props for Jessie to talk to. The friend that Jessie talks to at lunch gives her some perspective on good relationships merely by talking about her own. Her crush later in the book is a good mix of a stereotypical nerd and a would-be gentleman. I liked it a lot. And in fact, The only thing holding me back from wholeheartedly recommending Into the Wild Nerd Yonder for public libraries and their young adult collections is that, sadly, it's out of print. Now, the good news, however, is that an ebook is available through Amazon at least. And as a result, I completely recommend that public libraries talk to their ebook vendors about adding Into the Wild Nerd Yonder by Julie Halpern to their digital collections. Their teens will love it. Thank you.